Thank you, Dr. Deep. I think I am the last one standing between you guys and dinner, so I will not take much time. First is we have been educated enough regarding the management of lung cancer. I think you don't need to read David at all now. So the most important aspect of cancer care is choosing right venous access device. That's the most important thing. We all know how to give paclitaxel. All know how to give carboplatin, but this is very important topic. So venous access is critical for all cancer patients. Both chemoports and PICC have place in the management. It is all dependent on individual preference. People may choose chemoport insertion, the others may choose PICC. So I would just brief you about the both the aspects. So understanding of today's meeting is global guidance related to PICC, understanding Indian practices, resolving barriers, and towards consensus guidelines for PICC use in India. So in India, do we have an algorithm on how to use PICC in our cancer patients? Is there is awareness lacking? We are not making full use of training opportunity and material. Casual approach is leading to significant complication. Dedicated venous access team needs to be strengthened, and several unique Indian experiences has led to unique solution. So the global guidelines, this is a very important number. So I would like to highlight this is 70% of the patients receiving irritant vesicants experience phlebitis, and 22% receiving irritant vesicant chemotherapy experience extravasation. That is one fifth of every patient receiving chemotherapy. It's a huge number. So what are the peripheral access devices? We have cannula, we have catheters, we have central venous catheters. I think nobody will be using it for giving chemotherapy nowadays. PICC, tunnel catheters, or chemoport. So these two, first two IV cannula and peripheral IV cannula are used for maybe 5 days, and the last three are used usually for our cancer patients giving chemotherapy. So this is a very beautiful slide in which we can see that how many days of chemotherapy, how to choose. So definitely when chemotherapy duration is more than 30 days, we can consider chemoport if it's vesicants or irritants. If it's less than 30 days, we should always consider PICC insertion. We also avoid the frequent phlebotomy. That's a huge number. When we talk about the number of samples patient have to give for CBC, for say RFT, for all these routine things. So PICC is also the preferred no modality when we talk about frequent phlebotomy. So the what parameters should we focus on? Types of infusates or chemotherapy, expected duration of treatment, intensity of dose, vascular integrity of patient, and patient appropriateness. So most chemotherapy agents are either vesicants or irritant or both. So we know this anthracyclines, vinca alkaloids, and alkylating agents like mitomycin C. I don't think miclorhythamine or carboplatin we are using nowadays. When you talk about irritants, they are usually like etoposide, anti-metabolite 5-fluorouracil. They are predominantly irritants. Others are paclitaxel, cisplatin, or carboplatin, which are alkylating agents. So, considering CVAD for all vesicle or irritant drugs to avoid any vascular complications, it's so easy putting a PICC or a chemoport to prevent all this extravasation and thrombophlebitis. It avoids frequent pricks, which is phlebotomy, and repeated infusions. So the most important question is how long can we keep PICC? The answer is 12 months. We can easily, use PICC for up to a year. PICC indwelling time ranges from 7 days to 34 months. A PICC can be cited for treatment lasting few days to many years, and PICC can stay in your arm as long as 12 months. So 12 months is a number we should remember. So some international authorities have endorsed more than 12 months up to 3 years. That's a huge number. For me, I would say at least 12 months definitely we can use. So this is the global evidence. So in this 250 patients were enrolled, and 98% had solid tumors. So the median range was 184 days. So 1384 days, that is 3.8 years. In several centers have used PICC for nearly 12 to 18 months. So, do we ever estimate what the patient goes through the unexpected systemic journey? First is number of pricks, the lines of therapy. Like, when patient is palliative, the patient of palliative chemotherapy, they have to undergo some form of the chemotherapy or the other. So the number of chemotherapy cycles, uh, PICC as well as port, both can be used for a long-term therapy. So, have you ever inserted PICC for NSCLC with no driver mutation? I don't think I have done. But see this, this charts. There are numerous lines of chemotherapy which will be giving for that patient. There will be approximately 72 pricks in a year. So we never think of using PICC in patient with CL lung requiring chemotherapy. So now if we have an option, we can always discuss with them. The patient requires longer duration of chemotherapy. There's also always an option of discussing with the patient. It's not a must thing, but yes, it can definitely benefit the patient in so many ways. The similar is for a CA ovary patient, who had an extravasation after 2 cycles of chemotherapy, like Paclicarb, and then we need to be very cautious. When there is extravasation, it's very painful. There are so many things associated with that. So venous status should be checked before every patient, before starting chemotherapy, and before every cycle or infusion. So there are few barriers. So the median catheter indwelling period in PICC is 59 days, chemofort is 137 days. So the most important, is in India is the cost comparison. So the total cost of central venous catheter or PICC is roughly around 5,000, as well as against chemoport, which is nearly 5 times, nearly 25,000. So that is the most important point in which we should consider when both things are similar, when both have similar outcomes. So we should be also giving preference to the cost. So this is a very important slide which was published in IGMPO. The major, when we talk about complication, usually PICC or chemoport, they have hardly any complication. Pneumothorax or hemothorax, we have rarely seen. So they are usually very safe. Nurse-led PICC in TMH, when I was a resident, I think we have never been to PICC except before our exams. During our vivas only we have been to PICC. The nurse, how effectively and how efficiently they do PICC insertion, we have only learned in their days. So definitely it is cost effective, and we should always learn, as a doctor also we should learn PICC insertion. So trained nurse can insert PICC, cost is reduced by 60%, insertion rate is 91.6%, and complication rate is less than 5%. That's a very important paper. So now since we have access of all the modalities, definitely USG guided insertions are preferred, which reduces all the complications like mechanical infections or thrombosis, which makes it even more cost effective. So BD India is joining hand to strengthen your team. There is Center for Excellency across across countries, and there is also an online course to educate the staff at your hospital, and to train the staff to insert PICC. After inserting, there is always the thing which is maintenance and care. So BD India clinical expert can also come to your center for on-site training and handholding. So this is the PICC placer through COEs. There has been the major mainstream hospitals like TMH Mumbai or RGCI, Amrita, TMH Kolkata, and HCG Bangalore. They've all had training session for PICC placement. So we have to build an ecosystem across the centers. So we have to train the doctors. We have to also educate the sisters, for insertion of PICC as well as maintenance. So care of PICC needs adherence to all aspects: suture-less stabilization device and pre-filled saline flush. So PICC stabilization device eliminates the need for suture, eliminates accidental needle sticks, reduces unscheduled restarts, reduces catheter complication, and increase catheter dwell times. So this is a pre-filled saline flush which improves patient's outcome, which assures sterility, reduces the risk of medication errors and catheter damage, also reduces waste and cost. So to summarize, CVADs are recommended for all vesicants and irritants. For chemo agents having pH value of less than 5 or more than 9, osmolarity of more than 600 milliosmoles per liter. If we need to give TPN, blood or blood products, need to make a habit of formally checking venous status for every patient who will be starting chemotherapy, and every center must provide an option of chemoport or PSCC insertion. Contrary to common misconception, PSCC has been successfully used for short-term, intermediate as well as long-term therapy, that is more than 1 year. It benefits both continuous as well as intermittent chemotherapy. With this, I would like to end my session. Thank you so much for your patience listening.